mini intro and go straight.
Am I introduce myself?
Yeah. Do you want to do that? Do you want to introduce yourself?
So you go and I'll go. We're live.
I'll go and then I'm going to ask you.
Introduce me,
okay.
then I'll start talking.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey, guys.
And we are here to serve.
What is going on, everybody in podcast land? Thank you for tuning into the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show. As always, I am Jaime Filer, here to bring you the latest and greatest in all things biz news. And with me is one of my I want to call you my star pupil.
I'll take that. That's great.
Right? Jace Lopez, Team Apex Training. Out of
Lafayette, Louisiana.
There it is. Sir, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into the fitness space? What is your background and what brought you to TRM as well?
That's a little question. So what got me into fitness? I played college football. You know, I've always been interested in working out, trainings of that. And I had a few odd jobs out of college. I worked all field, did a few fun stuff like that. And then when I was in the all field, I had a buddy who was a personal trainer. And he's like, I was like, man, that sounds like a great job. He's like, yes, it's awesome. And you should get certification, do it. I was like, okay, good. So I earned my certification. I think it's through ACE. It was like 10 years ago. But it took me a year to get it. And not because it took that long to study, just because I kept it on my shelf. I never actually made it a priority, you know. I ended up getting laid off. I was like, oh, shoot, well, if it's better time to do it, better do it now here, you know. So I just had my daughter. She had in 2014. And so I ended up getting my certification. And from there, I was like, okay, I'm start training. So I found a local gym to go train at, you know, and I get there and I'm all excited to have like my business cards. I have, you know, my resumes for that. And I sit down there for 2 months and I don't get one client. I'm like, hey, you want to train? No, you want to train? No, okay. And I was like, man, like, you know, like I truly feel God called me to do this. Like, man, is this really what we do, God? You know? And then one day this chiropractor walked in. He was like, hey man, let's do a training session. I heard you're pretty good. I was like, okay, perfect. So we did a training session or a wow session, they call it, you know, for consultation, and he loved it. And we started hit the ground running. From there, I picked up a few more clients, and within that first year, I had a full roster. I was training from literally 4 a.m. until like 8 p.m. You know, I was so obsessed with just building a business and helping people. You know, it was my calling. So I was obsessed with it. But of course, I was burning the candles both ends there. But you know, I was 25. I had a lot of energy. You know, and at the end of that year, and I did a little online too. I had like a few clients online. You know, people like to work around me. At the end of that year, about the last few months of the year, I made 10 grand. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's pretty cool here, you know. So, but it's funny, you know, my wife, she was supportive at the time while I was getting my business started. She was bartending, you know, and I was just this guy, you know, I was her husband trying to, you know, make ends meet here, you know. So it's kind of cool shift where like she was like, oh no, he's actually doing something here, you know, and she actually believed in me. So it's pretty cool, you know. From there, 2016, I started my own gym. We found a lease here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Opened my own gym, hired some trainers, and then from there, my you know, it organically grew. And now I'm in a 6,000 square foot facility. We're inside a bigger gym. The gym is 32,000 square feet. I have a semi-private area where Apex Training is right now, and I have 8 trainers under me. So we're growing there. It's great. I really started online back, I guess, 2016. I guess I got my first real client, you know, online. I started marketing that service there, you know, and I never really pursued it because when it first started, getting a little busy, I think 2017 maybe, I got like, I don't know, 15 clients, and I was on my computer for like 4 hours. I was like, screw this. I don't like this, you know. Like I love the in-person connection with, you know. I'm a very personal guy, you know. I love interaction, and I wasn't getting that through online coaching. It seemed like work on my computer. I didn't want to do that, right? So I backed off. I stopped, you know, and I'll take clients here and there, you know. And when 2020 came around, it was the time I was like, oh no, like this is something I need to do. You know, I started listening to a podcast called Elite Physique University. It's John Gorman, Jason Thebold, and like it was really cool because there's not the fitness community in Louisiana isn't that big. So it's a chance for me to almost get like network with other trainers, other online coaches, kind of see their view, their passion. I was like, okay, this is something I can do. So I really immersed myself in it. Started marketing on social media. Started pushing a lot more, and now I have over 70 clients online now. So back up. Sorry. So in 2020 it was really great. It was great for me online. I finished. Are we discussing money here? Jamie?
We can, of course.
Okay. At the end of 2020, I hit my first 10K. I was excited. I said, yeah, so I was pumped online. So the gym was doing great. It's online. So it went from maybe a few $100 a month to 10K a month, and then in 2021, I went to the PEC, which is the Physique Education Collective in Nashville. I met a guy named Nick Lane there. So Nick has been a part of TRM for over a year now, and he has something I had. He has a few gyms. He has an online business, and I looked up to him. I'm like, oh man, this guy's legit. Well, I saw that he was with you guys. He's a TRM. He had a plaque. I was like, okay, because I heard TRM before through podcasts, through social media, and not saying I didn't take it seriously, but if you go on social media, there's 20 business coaches, right? There's people who any niche you can think of, right? So I was like, okay, if he did it, it must be legit. So I set up a phone call with Matt. Matt of course blew my socks off, and my wife finally agreed. I joined TRM, and that's when it really took the next level there, because the revenue was there, but my processes were coming to an end there. As in, like, I was still doing emails. I was still doing, I didn't have a Google Drive yet or any kind of folder to track my clients. I remember, Jamie, you said, if you can't get to your client's folder in 5 seconds, your process aren't efficient enough, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it really hit me hard. So coming to you guys, having our one-on-one meetings, doing the modules, learn how to set better processes, better operations on my business. From then I hired an online coach. I have a coach that has about 10 clients right now online with me. So it's been a blessing so far for sure.
Jace, do you want to take a breath?
Yeah. So before this, I grabbed a coffee, by the way. So yeah.
Oh my God, a coffee that probably has pre-workout with.
Well, also, Jamie, I'm very passionate. If you can't tell. So if you get me talking about something that I like or I'm passionate about, the motor starts going.
I can tell, and I absolutely love it. And I was taking notes as you were talking.
Oh, awesome.
So I noticed at PEC, you mentioned kind of getting your business started in 2014. But then online in 2016. So relative to, I guess, someone like Lane Norton or Scooby, right? Or Jeff Black, you're a relative newcomer to the industry.
100%. Right? This whole time I would do online coaching because people, they're asking for it. It's like, yeah, I'll coach you, whatever,
Yeah.
But it wasn't something I marketed, I didn't try to push it because I didn't want to get busy, get online. I want to spend time with my family and do other stuff,
Yeah.
And I'd be stuck on my computer. So I would always say I'm a full-time business owner, gym, personal trainer, but a part-time online coach, right? And in 2020 came is where I really immersed myself in that new identity of being an online coach, and that's when it really flourished.
So how do you think you gained such credibility and authority in this space so quickly? Because when I saw you at PEC this past January, people would flock to you. Like they'd known you forever. But again, so how did you develop a reputation for yourself?
So being in the industry since 2015. So I started my company in 2015. I started my gym in 2016.
Okay.
You meet a lot of people, and like I've lived a few different places, so I know a lot of people from different areas. You'd be surprised how many people I can network with. But really, I think relationships are just going all in. Have a great personality, going all in, and over time, going to different events and just meeting different people to where you can make an impact on them. Because I'll never talk to somebody, Jamie, and try to make a quick conversation. I won't talk to you at all. I don't. Hey, how you doing? Okay, no. If I talk to you, I'm gonna stop looking at you and say, hey, how are you doing? I really want to make impact on everybody and make sure that they know I care about them, because it's easy. One interaction can change a person's perspective on you, right? So I really try to make sure that, each person know that I actually care about them and, about what they're saying or how they're feeling.
You might be the best thing to happen to that person all day, right? You never know.
you could be that one link between them, like having a brand new life and change their life going forward, or from them, literally, like committing suicide or some hurt himself, something like that here, because it's a hard world, and you'd be surprised when people just feel unnoticed or silent,
Yep. And that's such a good perspective to take in general, but obviously definitely in business and networking as well. So you mentioned, that's so funny, when I said about the Google Drive being able to access it in 5 seconds, right? If you can't find your client's file in 5 seconds or less, your stuff isn't organized. Did you have any other light bulb moments in TRM where things just started to click and everything all of a sudden became clearer or easier or whatever?
The first thing that comes to my mind is the targeted marketing online. Because going to different events and learning from a bunch of mentors. I spent over $5,000 last year in mentors and seminars and stuff like that. And whenever you learn the most information, that's valuable to you, right? But it's not valuable to everybody, So, if I'm posting about, Hashimoto's and, women's hormone health and this, and it's getting mixed reviews online, or I'm talking to different artists, I get no audience, right? Or I get no hits, So now that you guys have really told me to zero in on my ideal clientele, my avatar, since I had been back in January, I've been doing that. I wanted to coach body. So I have 3 pages. I have my gym page, which I'm targeting, middle-aged moms. I have my Apex Elite page, which of course is lifestyle clients. And I have my page where I'm targeting competitive bodybuilders, And so I've been targeting competitive bodybuilders. I've added over 40 competitors to my roster. So,
wow.
So it's definitely working. That was the biggest light bulb moment for me is you can make your roster, and how important your roster is essential because that's your clientele. That depends your happiness also. If you have clients you don't
that's your tribe, right?
You're not gonna want to do it. And of course, like you said, your culture is not gonna
thrive,
branch out to them, right?
Yeah.
You're feeding the wrong group there, So having that target marketing and then coaching the same avatar has helped me tremendously.
Yep. Oh, I love that. And that's so important. That should be the first thing other than obviously limiting beliefs and self-talk. Who are you serving should be the number one thing, that all new trainers learn. So regarding, if you don't mind, we're going to talk money a little bit more. Now I pulled up, Jace, the questionnaire that you filled out like 6 months ago when you first started TRM.
Yes.
And we asked you, how much do you make per month right now gross?
Yes.
And what is the most you have ever made per month gross?
Yes.
Your answer, Jace. I like you so much. So I don't know the gross. My wife controls the money for the gym, and she's a solid answer. But she says we net around 10K per month. Okay.
Yes.
Online has been between 10 and 12K every month. Jace, give me those updated numbers now.
Okay, so when I first started TRM, my highest was 12,500.
Yeah.
12,600, right? That's right. And that was in, I believe July. I think by July. And this past month, I hit over 15.
Okay.
Yes. So So that was my goal, wasn't it? Did I write that down?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hit my goal. So that's super exciting.
So you had 2 parts to your goal. It was 15 online, but 25K per month between your 2 businesses.
Yes. Yeah. So I have to check my wife about the gym. Okay. But she of course knows that better than me. But it's So
guys, but this is a great lesson in outsourcing and delegating, right, Jace? You are not in charge of the finances. You're in charge of client nurturing and retention, right?
And just numbers in general. I'm just not a big numbers guy. Like it was never about like, hey, when you make this much, it's like, no, grow. And over time,
serve, right?
Serve, right? Yeah. And over time, you'll get that number over time. So I'm not going to put my weaknesses and, try to build them up and, things I don't like focus on, and delegating, like you said, delegating those low leverage tasks to other people has been a big game changer for me also.
I am so glad you brought that up because I want to let everyone who's listening know right now that Jace has been one of the most difficult clients I've ever coached because he loves his career so much. He has been reluctant to give up some of the things he does. So Jace, how hard was it at first for me to tell you to take a step back and don't be on your phone all the time and hire more trainers if that's what's needed?
It was very tough. And so, for example, one of the things was social media. I was controlling 3 social media pages. And, whenever you're doing that, you get what social media block, whatever. You get your writer's block, and it ends up being a stressor. So hiring my sister, who's also one of my trainers for my gym, to run the Apex, my gym page, has been a complete game changer. Not only is the content a lot better, I'm not stressed out. I know it's bringing in, the target clientele, but also it's make things easier on all ends here.
So even, guys, again, another lesson, even the most passionate of trainers who lives, eats, breathes, sleeps what he does, knows where his strengths are and are not, and is willing to give up where his strengths are not and hire someone who can do a better job than he can of that thing, right? You don't have to be in every single area of your business. You just have to be the CEO of your business and hire the right people.
Yeah. And essentially, over time, as you scale, you're going to have to do that either way. Because it's like either do it now or learn later that you have to do this here, right? Because again, as I grew my clientele from, I started, had 40 clients, now I'm up to 70 now, I don't have time to do that either way now, so taking that step early and taking that heartache early has been a blessing going forward.
I love that. And I'm so glad you mentioned growth and scaling, because my next question was going to be, where does Apex go from here, and where does Apex grow from here?
Ultimately, we like to have our own gym, I have a membership gym where we're getting that, another form of revenue. But continue to just build our trainers. As far as our gym goes, build our trainers, continue to educate and give them more value. And online, I have one trainer, one coach, which under me right now. Over time, get him full, get another coach. I like to have at least 3 coaches online, not too many to manage there, but enough to take the clientele that I'm getting at this time here, So as far as money revenue is what you're looking for, also.
Everything. I want everything. I want to know how
my goal by the end of the year is to have 20K online and 20K in the gym.
Brilliant. That you don't even have to think about it. It's just coming in. It's rolling in because you're giving the best possible service. Would you ever think about opening a second location, Jace, either in Lafayette or elsewhere?
We considered it, and that option has been there a few times. But for me to be able to serve my clients at a high level that I'm trying to, it's just not worth it my end, right? Because if I have to drive somewhere to, again, make sure they're doing well, make sure everything's on, that our standard operating procedures being in place and continue to be a high level to nurture our clients there, it'd be too much. It's too much right now. So we're trying to maximize where we're now, blow the doors off, and then of course migrate when we have to. All
right, because that I'm going to want it. Greg McCoy, right?
Yes.
A guy we both know and absolutely love. Probably once upon a time, Greg, if you're listening, I'm sorry if I'm putting words in your mouth, but probably once upon a time had that same thought about hidden gym, right? How will I ever serve the clients and the customers the best way possible if I have a different location, because I can't be 2 places at once? And now here we are with Hidden Gym opening their second location. And there's no doubt in my mind that Greg has developed those SOPs that you're talking about, so that the trainers at Hidden Gym Allen location are going to be the exact same in terms of quality and love and passion at the second at the Pegasus location.
Yep.
Something to think about, sir. We don't have to sacrifice just because you have. Wait, Jace, here's a great. You have 2 kids, 3 kids.
One daughter. She turned 8 yesterday.
I'm so sorry. Okay. If you had a second daughter, would you love the first one any less, or would it seem like you're a little? Okay, I just want to leave that there. I just want to leave that in. All right. Next question. What has been the best experience for you so far in TRM?
So, of course, the growth has been awesome, but I'd have to say the community coaches, you guys have the meetings, just the overall community and culture of the group is instilled in me has been the biggest pleasure so far. So I look forward to our modules on Tuesday, the platinum calls on Friday, seeing everybody, seeing my fine faces, their energy, because that essentially fires me up to work harder and push harder too. So I'd say the community environment.
And now that you have your own breakout room, you have to level up. You have to make sure you know what you're talking about.
100%.
All right, last question. What advice would you give to new trainers, either in the fitness space in general or new to online?
Whew.
Other than obviously join TRM, but
So join TRM, focus
Okay.
on serving clients above and beyond.
Yeah.
I talked with a coach 2 weeks ago, and he's like, yeah, I'm charging $200 a month, and I'm way too cheap. This. He's been coaching less than a year now. I said, don't say that. Because the one you serve right now, serve them like you are charging $1,000 a month, right? Like give the highest level of servitude, and then you're going to be happy. You have happy clients. Also, it's going to grow organically here. So again, just try to serve as much as possible and give as much value as possible.
Yeah,
and that includes continued education, better processes, more perks within your packages.
Yeah, always adding value.
Add value. That's right.
Add value. I like that. Jace, anything I didn't ask you that you would like to talk about, or anything I missed?
I'm not sure, Jamie. That's a good question. I think I'm good on my end.
Okay. All right. Well, sir, it's been an absolute pleasure. You are a rock star. You're an integral part of the TRM fam. It was phenomenal to meet you at PEC. You bring the same energy in person as you do online. And that is so rare for someone in 2022, because we're so used to being behind a screen and then we meet someone in person and we're like the shadow version of ourselves, but you are just as energetic and passionate.
That's great to hear, Jamie. Thank you.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. And I look forward to our continued work together in TRM.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, thank you so much for joining in. Hope you derived a ton of value from Jace. Please follow him on social media at, what is your Instagram, or the gym's Instagram?
So my Instagram is Jace_Lopez_, and the gym is Apex Training Gym. So
Perfect.
Apex,
and you will,
Apex Training Gym.
Sorry, say that again.
Apex Training Gym.
Perfect. And make sure that he's doing his job in terms of targeting his perfect client.
Yes,
Guys, call him out if you see him deviate. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, for tuning in. Make sure that if you found value in today's episode, you share it on Facebook or Instagram. Also, make sure to subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen to us, be it iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever. We appreciate you. We appreciate your ratings. We appreciate listening, and just wanted to wish you all a great rest of your day.